So you are able to see my screen? Can anyone confirm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So we have learned about the how to populating the model view. So now actually we'll talk about the MTV. MTV means models, templates, views. So this is a technique actually we basically learned in Django, and these three things are very important to learn actually. So almost every time we will work on these things. First is models. So for database connection, it is very important. Second is templates. So what you want to show on your web page, for that it is very important. And views decide what you want to render on the web page. Okay. So in the template you can put your HTML files or your CSS files, so that you can make the web page views better. So okay, so we'll learn about that now. So let's learn about that. So we covered a lot of concept in the previous lecture. So let's implement them. The previous concept one by one we have learned. So now it is time to implement them. Okay. So in this MTV topic, in this MTV lecture, I will tell you how to implement them. So we will continue working with the two project folders from Django level 1, and we have two project folders. So most of the time I am working on first project. So that is our first project, which using which I am explaining you about all the topics. And along with that, you also if you are following the lectures, you also know about that there is another application also, that is Pro 2 application. Okay, so that Pro 2 application also going side by side, and from that also you can practice the things and learn all the topics. So this next topic is this: Django operates on what is known as models, template, views. Okay, so that MTV is models, templates, views, and Django most of the time operate on these three things. This is also called MTV and encompasses the idea of how to connect everything. So we have talked about so far models, we have talked about templates, we have talked about views, we have talked. So there are few basic steps to achieving the goal of serving dynamic content to a user based of the connection of the modules, views, and templates. So by the connection of models, views, and templates, how the dynamic content serve on the web page, that will be done by the models, views, and templates parts. Okay, so we'll talk about that, and let's see what they are. First, actually, in the views.py. So these are the steps actually what we will do here. So first, in the views.py file, we import any models that we will need to use. So we created models. Let's say we created models, and we have made the fields, that is columns, and the table, and rows and columns in database we have made. And now we will need to use that models. So in the views.py file, we import using the some syntax. Okay. Second, use the view to query the model for data that we will need. So in the models, actually we want to fetch the data. So for fetching the data we need to give the query, and this you can understand by thinking about the SQL. So SQL is type of database. In SQL also we are making tables, and from the SQL we are fetching the data using the query methods, using means writing some query. So here also we use in view.py, here we are also writing query for the models, and for the data that we will need. And third is pass result from the model to the template. Then that result, that result we have uh, that result that provided us, so we will pass that result from the models to the template so that it can uh, view on the front end of the web page. Okay. So fourth step is edit the template so that it is ready to accept and display the data from the model. And fifth, map a URL to the view so that you can render the things using the particular URL. We can practice this methodology methodology by changing what we display on the front index page. Okay, so that index page we have displayed what you can understand, we displayed the logo, and along with that some headings also we displayed. So now it is the time to change that part. Okay, so on that index page I will show you that the table that will come from the backend. Okay, automatically that will table come from the backend, and I will show you that part. So this is the real actually rendering things, how the dynamic content is working. This is the real actually the thing we are doing here, and we will do. So to begin our understanding of this process, we will start by generating a table. And how we generate tables? Using the models. The table will display all the web pages and access records from the access records. So we already made the tables, made the columns, the web pages, and access records from the access record database we created and populated. Guys, just wait for 1 minute. Okay, I am coming. Okay, so we will use template tagging to connect the models to the HTML page. Okay, so this template tagging we use, some text we will use. This entire process will introduce a lot of new things, so don't be intimidated. Okay, the template tagging can seem especially confusing at first, so don't worry, just follow along. We will be getting tons of practice with this later on. So the syntax part of that template tagging basically look like a difficult one for everyone in the starting, and when you will do practice 3 to 4 times, and after 5 times you will become familiar to this. Okay, so then that will not look confusing for you. So after we walk through a lot of these with some code, you will have a challenge to practice your basic MTV skills. Okay, one project also, one challenge also, one exercise for you. If you will do practice on that exercise, then obviously you will understand about that. Okay, so all right, so let's get started for our MTV view. And you can see this is the application we have. Django application we already made. This template part index.html you can say. Now this part we need to change here. Okay, and something also we will change, and let me tell you about that. So what I will change here. So in the views.py, I will go to the views.py, and let me see. There is something that some code that is available already from Django shortcuts. We imported render, and we need to write some other lines of codes to render the models actually. So basically here we will do one another thing, that from Django.shortcuts we import render, and from Django.http we import http response, and another actually we want to import the models. So for importing the models we need to write first. So this will be the first app dot models. Okay, first app, first app dot model. So from first app dot models we import what we will import. We'll import topic. Okay, and I can show you the these things in the models.py. You can see in the model.py we have class topic, we have web page class, and we have access record class. These things we need to import. Okay, so from first app.models we import topic. Apart from topic we need to import the web pages. Okay, and access record also. These three things we need to uh, import. Access record. Now this view is already created. Now we need to create our view. Okay, so for that, we need to change this actually. So here in the dictionary part we will edit this. Okay, and we return here something else related to that topic, web page, and access record. Okay, so here I will tell web page list. Okay, so in the web page list I will store the access record and dot objects. Okay, and dot order by. So this is a query actually. So we are giving query here, and order by what? Date. So we are generating the web page list using the access records. In the access record we are choosing the objects, and an object is order by date. Okay, so we are filtering that order by date using order by date. Okay, so this part we have done. Next, so at the place of my dictionary I will say data dictionary, and this data dictionary will store access records. So here I also need to put what? Access records. Okay, and here instead of passing any message I will pass the variable. Okay, so here I will pass the web page list. So this will generate here. Now in the return part I will render the request, this first step, index.html, and context. Now context should be data dictionary, not my dictionary, data dictionary. Okay, so this is the views part. Okay, I have added that views part, and let me save it. It is showing some error, so later we will solve that error. Okay, don't worry about that. I will solve these red lines errors. Okay, we'll look into that. So this is the views part we have done. So in the views actually we have shown what we want to show. So you can see in the what will be the first step. So first in the views.py, so you can see in the first step views.py file we import any models that we will need to use. So that thing we have done. So we have imported the three models: topic, web page, and access records that we will need to use. Okay, that we will need to use, and here I am generating order by date. Okay, and second step you can see use the view to query the model for data that we will need, and this part we have done. Pass result from the model to the template. Now it is the time to pass the result to the template. So for that we need to go to the index.html page. Okay, in the template part we need to go to index.html, and here we'll pass the result. So let me do editing here, and I will say this instead of title, we can say MTV. Okay, so we can say MTV, so you can understand models, templates, views, heading. And apart from that, we need to add the CSS file. Okay, so for that also we'll talk later. But let me add the link. Okay, so here you can understand how we add the link in uh, Django. So here we'll write link, and inside the link we'll give the style sheet. So that will be the style sheet CSS, and here I will give the href, and inside the href I will pass the URL. But now in this case we need to put the URL using the syntax of percentage sign. Okay, so that will we need for Django URL mapping. Okay, for giving URL in Django in href, we are using this method percentage. So static, and this should be CSS inside the template. Yeah, inside the static files we have CSS and my style dot CSS. Okay, so let me close that, and this is the link we have given. For now let me comment this link. Okay, I'm not using this for now, let me comment this. And now come to the body part. So inside the body part, let me change this heading. So hello, this is MTV topic, MTV lecture. Okay, we can say. And after that, we need to remove this image. We are not showing this image here. Okay, so we need to give the heading 2. And inside heading 2, I will say here are yours access records. Okay, and these are the headings for access records. Now after that we will render the dynamic content. Okay, and this is the important part actually. So here we need to give the division tag. So inside this div I will use one class. Okay, for adding the CSS. So here class will be the Django 2. So this is the class Django 2, and here in this division tag I will render the dynamic content. So first I will use the percentage, and inside the percentage I will use one if condition. So if access records, okay, if access records, then we need to make table. We need to make table, and inside the table we need to make head table heading. Okay, so we need to give this tag also. So this is the tagging. Okay, and first we give the first row column name, that will be the th. Okay, and inside the th we will give the site name. And next th data accessed. Okay, data accessed and thread closed and table closed. And after that we'll give the another. So this is the one table part one we have done. Next we will give for loop. Actually we'll run the for loop. Okay, so this if condition we used, inside the if condition this data will be generated. Okay, this represented on the web page, front page. So next is for loop. So for access acc is a pointer. Actually I have taken acc pointer in for loop in access records. Access records, I think it is a array string. So I need to traverse this, and here we'll give the table, and inside the table we need to give the td, and here we will render the dynamic content so that we are using this method for generating the access acc dot name. Okay, so acc is a pointer, dot name is the object. Okay, so we are generating this, and also we can save this and paste, and this is the second, and here we will generate the access dot date, acc dot date. So this we have done. Okay, next after that we need to end the for loop. So this is the syntax to end the for loop. So we can say end for. Okay, so here we ended the for loop. Next, so basically we need to use that inside that. Okay, so it's better indentation we need here. So in case of Python, if indentation is wrong, then we'll get the error. So here I will remove this, and here we need to add the one closing tag for table. So this should be table. Okay, so inside this thread we are using this. So let me use this way. So indentation is very important in Python. Without indentation, proper indentation, you will get the error. Okay, so we need this for loop inside this if condition. Okay, inside this table. so that we need this indentation very properly, so that I am doing that. So this table, I open here, this closed here, this table heading is closed here, and inside this we need this access dot name, access dot date. So this is the heading of column, and this is the value of column, each and every column. Okay, so we have made here row, table row, and in one row we have table data, this and this table data. So each time for loop will run, and each time we will generate one row, and it will print that data. Okay, so this is the part we have done, and after the table part, we we will also use here one else condition. Okay, else condition of if part. So this we will write like this. This is the syntax for writing else, and inside this else condition we'll give one paragraph. Okay, so inside the paragraph we'll say in this condition no access record find, no access records. Okay, fine. So this we have done. Okay, yes, and after that we'll close the if condition. So we'll close using this percentage syntax. Okay, so this tagging syntax is basically difficult. Okay, so by practice you will become the familiar this tagging. Okay, now this looking some confusing, some tough, but after doing some practice you will become familiar. Okay, so this part we have done, and I think this index part we have done, and without access dot name also. Okay, and access records we are using. So let me save this, and we'll try to generate the result. So inside this, let me run the python manage dot py run server. We'll see if there is any error or not. Yes, there is an error, and we need to solve that error. Okay, so import error, cannot import name access record from this models. Okay, this is said that cannot import from import dot models. This we cannot import. Okay, we can't import this. So what we need to do? Let me do one thing. Save it and go to views part, and inside this views, first app. So inside the first app we have models.py. So first app dot models. It is correct. But here in migration, this is another thing. And we are importing topics, web page, and access records. But it is showing access records was not. Okay, so this is the spelling mistake. Okay, I think this because of this spelling mistake, this is not correct. So let me run this again. Okay, this automatically run, and there is no error. And let me, yes, the result you can see, we have this result, data access site name, but site name is not coming. There is something error in website web page name, and for that let me refer the part favicon dot not found. Okay, this is okay, favicon not found, but we need to show the data using this site name. So where is the site name? Access.name will be the site name. So I think there is some error in fetching the site name. Okay, we will do this later. Correct. Okay, so let me look into that. What will be the here site name? acc.name for ACC access records. Okay, so let me see. I think this is the web page. We are using this web page, and let me see the models. Web page models.foreign key web page, and instead of name we are using what? In web page we are using topic this foreign key, and name should be the models.carefield name. It is correct. Self.name we are using. So let me use this web page if it is work. For date, this is the date field, and for that web page we need to use acc.webpage. And I will let me edit this, and I'm thinking it will solve the error, but we can do later. Web page, okay, and now save it. Now, so we are able to solve the problem. So the problem is that actually that was not the name for web page. So for web page name, we are using the web page keyword. So now we are able to fetch the data, and quickly let me show the other. Actually, we have not added any CSS file here. So later in the next lecture, I will show you how to add the CSS file here, and how to include that CSS file, and how to use the property of CSS, and we will make our web page more good looking. Okay, all the tables. So this is the basic idea about how to generate the dynamic content from your on your web page. Okay, so for that we are using the tagging part. Okay, so okay, let me show the web page, and you can see. So this data is dynamically coming from what? Coming from the backend. Okay, and this way you can generate the result. So after that there is one project in which we learn all the things. Okay, again we'll make one project again, and we will learn all the things again. So that from that project you will get the revision until now how much you have learned. Okay, so most probably that lecture I will do tomorrow. Okay, so now onwards I will try to take lectures on daily basis. Okay, uh, thank you guys for joining the lecture.